All right, everybody, Friday, February 13th, and the atmosphere is loaded and ready to fire on all cylinders over the next 12 days. What we are tracking right now is not just one storm, but an escalating sequence of high-impact events that is going to touch every region of the country. Today through Sunday, a powerful cross-country storm brings severe weather to the southern plains and Gulf states, drenching rain from Texas to the Carolinas, and a lingering question about wintry precipitation for the mid-Atlantic. Then starting Sunday and intensifying through about February 18th, the West Coast gets slammed by what is shaping up to be the most significant mountain snowstorm of the entire season, with the Sierra Nevada potentially receiving multiple feet of snow, dangerous flooding rain hitting California's valleys, blizzard conditions in the high country, and winds gusting 60 to 80 miles per hour. After that, the trough lifts north and shifts the storm focus into the Pacific Northwest and Northern Rockies through the 25th, while the central and eastern states ride a towering ridge of false spring warmth. And then behind all of that, a polar vortex collapse is working its way down from the stratosphere and threatening to flip the pattern cold again by late February into early March. Let me break all of it down, region by region. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. The Valentine's Day weekend storm is now in progress. An atmospheric river that made landfall in California earlier this week has evolved into a cross-country system that is pushing into the south-central United States today. The Weather Prediction Center confirms that widespread precipitation will develop and spread quickly into the southern plains through Saturday and reach the East Coast by Sunday. Moisture anomalies are well above normal, and there is potential for training storms along the frontal boundary. The SPC has issued a 5% severe weather risk for today across western Texas into far southwest Oklahoma, where isolated supercell activity is expected this evening as dew points climb into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Temperatures across western Texas are surging into the 70s, and with southeasterly low-level flow veering to southwesterly aloft, the wind profiles support organized storms. By Saturday, the SPC expects isolated strong to severe storms from Oklahoma and Texas into the lower Mississippi Valley through the afternoon and overnight hours. Strong to locally damaging wind gusts are the most likely hazard. The surface low will deepen as it shifts from the Texas Panhandle eastward toward northern Mississippi through the period, with a trailing cold front sweeping southeast. By Sunday, a weaker threat persists across the Deep South and Southeast, with the SPC noting some risk for strong to isolated severe storms from southern Alabama and Georgia into parts of Florida. Here is the city-by-city breakdown for the southern and eastern storm. Amarillo and the Texas Panhandle are getting drenched today, with rain chances hitting 80% tonight. Dallas and Fort Worth see the heaviest rain Friday night into Saturday morning, with 1 to 2 inches likely and gusty storms possible. Houston picks up heavy rain Saturday with embedded thunderstorms. San Antonio and Austin see rain Saturday with the chance for a few strong storms. Oklahoma City gets rain and gusty winds. Saturday, Shreveport and Monroe face the strongest storm dynamics Saturday afternoon with damaging wind and hail potential. Little Rock is in the sweet spot for the heaviest rainfall, 2 to 4 inches with localized 5-inch totals possible, and the WPC has posted a slight risk for flash flooding across the Little Rock and Texarkana corridor for Saturday. Memphis picks up 1 to 3 inches Saturday evening into overnight. Jackson, Mississippi sees storms Saturday night. New Orleans and Baton Rouge get heavy rain and embedded storms Saturday into Sunday. Birmingham and Montgomery catch the squall line late Saturday night into Sunday. Mobile and Pensacola see storms overnight. Nashville gets rain and gusty winds Sunday. Atlanta picks up rain Sunday morning into afternoon. As the system pushes to the East Coast, Charlotte and Raleigh see a soaking rain Sunday afternoon, which is actually beneficial given the ongoing drought. Richmond and Norfolk get heavy rain Sunday night. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore face a rain and wind event with gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. The latest WPC guidance has trended the wintry precipitation more offshore for the Northeast, a significant shift from earlier in the week. Philadelphia sees mainly rain. New York City gets rain and wind with minimal to no snow accumulation. The interior has better odds. Albany could see 2 to 4 inches on the back end. The Adirondacks and Green Mountains of Vermont pick up 3 to 6 inches. Portland, Maine has the best chance for meaningful accumulation at 4 to 8 inches. Boston likely sees mostly rain with perhaps an inch or two of wet snow on the changeover. Now the monster out west. All 3 major ensemble systems are in strong agreement on a 500 millibar trough amplifying across the western United States this weekend in conjunction with a deeply negative PNA pattern. The NWS is calling this a major pattern change for the west, and the most active and dangerous window runs from about February 14th through the 19th. Northern California will be dry through Saturday, but rain starts moving over the coast late Sunday afternoon, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week are all designated impact days by NWS Sacramento with cold temperatures, heavy precipitation, and strong winds. The Sierra Nevada is about to experience the biggest snowstorm of the season. California's snowpack currently sits at only 77% of normal, and this storm cycle is going to dramatically close that gap. Snow levels are expected to crash as low as 2,000 to 3,000 feet across Northern California during the peak, with significant accumulation possible in foothill communities at 4,000 feet. Above 5,000 feet, the totals become staggering. The CPC and WPC maintain a moderate risk of heavy snow through the outset of Week 2 around February 19th for the Sierra, Klamath Mountains, and Southern Cascades, with ensemble models depicting 24-hour snowfall totals potentially exceeding 6 inches even at the tail end of the event. Multiple feet of accumulation are likely at the higher elevations. Snowfall rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour are possible during the peak. Wind gusts of 60 to 80 miles per hour in the mountains will create blizzard conditions with near-zero visibility. Interstate 80 over Donner Pass and Highway 50 over Echo Summit face closures that could last days. City by city for the west. Sacramento sees light to moderate rain, Sunday with heavier rounds Monday through Wednesday. Valley totals generally under 1.5 inches, but the foothills picking up 2 to 4 inches and the mountains 4 to 8. San Francisco and the Bay Area see heavy rain and gusty winds with multiple rounds through mid-next week. Los Angeles and Southern California face multiple heavy cold storm rounds between February 14th and 19th per the NWS, with 2 to 3 inches of rainfall possible for the LA Basin. San Diego gets soaked. Portland and Seattle see rain through the period and extending into the Pacific Northwest focus through February 25th. Salt Lake City picks up valley snow with significant Wasatch Mountain snow. Denver sees periodic snow showers as waves clip the Rockies. Reno faces rain and snow at valley level with massive Sierra accumulation nearby. Flagstaff and northern Arizona pick up significant mountain snow. The extended period from February 19th through the 25th brings a crucial transition. The trough lifts northward, shifting the heaviest precipitation from California and the Southwest into the Pacific Northwest and northern Rockies. The CPC maintains a slight risk of heavy snow from the Cascades through the Sierra all the way through February 25th, with the highest totals favoring the Cascades by the second half of the period. The much snowier latter half of February is welcomed across the west, where snow water equivalent is currently below 50% of average for much of the Pacific Northwest, Great Basin, and California. Inland, energy rounding the base of the trough creates Lee cyclogenesis potential, putting the northern plains, upper Mississippi Valley, and Great Lakes at elevated risk for a winter storm around February 19th through 21st. A moderate risk for high winds is posted for the central and southern plains on February 19th and 20th, with a broader slight risk through the 22nd. The temperature picture during this entire period is remarkable for its contrast. While the west gets hammered, the central and eastern states ride a false spring that keeps intensifying. Today, Dallas hits the mid-70s. Houston pushes near 80. Oklahoma City is in the upper 60s. Little Rock is in the mid-60s. Memphis and Nashville sit in the low 60s. Atlanta reaches the upper 50s. Charlotte and Raleigh are in the low 50s. New York City is in the low 40s. Philadelphia and D.C. are in the upper 40s. Boston is around 40. Chicago reaches the mid-40s. Minneapolis is in the upper 30s. By Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, temperatures surge. Chicago pushes into the mid-50s. Minneapolis approaches 50. Des Moines and Omaha reach the mid-50s. Kansas City and St. Louis hit the 60s. This warmth holds through about the 20th per the CPC, with above-normal temperatures favored across the entire central and eastern United States. But here is the critical long-range piece. A stratospheric warming event confirmed in mid-February is collapsing the polar vortex. The MJO has been temporarily shielding the east from the effects, but that interference is not expected to last. Once the stratosphere surface connection reestablishes, new rounds of cold air are likely to push into the United States in late February and into early March. The false spring has an expiration date, and when the cold returns, the clash with established warmth will fuel powerful storms. Here is your bottom line. Today through Sunday, the Valentine's Day storm brings severe weather to the Gulf states, heavy flooding rain from Texas through the Tennessee Valley, and mainly rain for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, with interior New England having the best snow odds. Starting Sunday and peaking Monday through Wednesday, the West Coast faces the most significant storm of the season, with multiple feet of Sierra snow, blizzard conditions, dangerous California flooding, and devastating winds. From the 19th through the 25th, the storm focus shifts to the Pacific Northwest and Northern Rockies, with winter storm potential for the Northern Plains and Great Lakes. False spring warmth peaks across the east before a polar vortex collapse threatens to flip the pattern. I will be covering every development. Stay safe, and we will talk again very soon.